Hey guys, it's Max Convexity here. Let's look at these Defiance option strategy funds and get an end of the day final tally on how much they made or lost. Let's start with JEPY. JEPY trades SPX options. So they sold their options for $15.70. And it looks like they're going to have to buy them back, or they bought them back for $21.32. So that means they had a loss of $124,000 today. They were going for 346 profit. They lost 124. Here's what that looks like graphically. They were in the money all day, or well, they were in the money for us, in the profit box for us, I guess, but they're in the money for the people that bought them, unfortunately. So they were in the profit box all day where we could have made a profit, but then right at the end of the day, they fell out. So let's check out NDX next. NDX trades is what the QQQY trades. Same story. Rallied this morning, went up to the max profit land, and turned around and fell out of the profit box by about the same amount as the JEPYs did. So not good. Let's look here. They sold 164 options at $76, and they went 127 points in the money, so they had to pay 127 to buy them back. Difference between 76 and 127 is $800,000 loss, $846,000 loss. They were trying to make 1.2 and they lost 846. Not a great day for those guys either. IWMY, let's look at the chart. These guys trade Russell options. All right, this is the strongest one of the bunch. These guys, you would expect about a half profit because these closed halfway through the profit box. So these guys, let's look at how these managers did. All right, this was actually a profit of $390,000. These options went in the money too, but they did not go in the money more than we paid. More than we were able to sell the options for. They sold the options for $24.70. Unfortunately, they went in the money $17, so we had to buy them back for $17.27. All right, I had a question from a commenter. He says, all right, he said, did you do a video where you explained the meaning of the two colors of the profit boxes? And I have, but what do the dashed lines represent? Why are the lines of the two boxes not parallel? Okay, those are great questions. So, and anyone that already knows these answers can tune out, but I'm going to talk about profit boxes for a second. So, all right. The dashed lines don't mean anything. My drawing tool just draws a dashed line. I don't know how to get rid of that. I have a drawing tool over here, and these aren't really made for profit boxes. Profit boxes are not a thing. I made up the profit box. I invented the profit box. So I'm just using another tool that this chart has on it that draws lines like this. I can hit one line like this, then I can go like this and essentially make a box. It just puts the dashed line in the middle of wherever it is. I don't know why, and I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay, so that's the two different colors. All right, the green part of the profit box is the intrinsic value of the option that was sold. Options are comprised of intrinsic and extrinsic value. The intrinsic value is the in-the-money amount of the option. They sell the options pretty close to the end of the day, so this was the end of yesterday right here. These are 30-minute bars. The market closed here yesterday. Yesterday was a big down day. It closed at 1959 about. We don't know exactly when they sold the option, but it was somewhere around the end of the day, so we'll just assume it was at the end of the day. So the market was at 1959, but these guys sold a 16,410 strike. So the difference is $41. That is the intrinsic amount. That's the amount of That's the in the money amount of the option. All right. And then the yellow box, I'm sorry, these were on the Russell 2000. So Russell 2000 closed at 1959 yesterday about. They sold an option that was at 1975. So 1975 is where the top line is. So the difference between 1959 and 1975 is the in the money amount. So the green part represents how much intrinsic the option is worth. The yellow part represents how much extrinsic. So an option is composed of intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic is the in the money amount, and extrinsic is everything else. So the in the money amount was 1975 less the close, yes, yesterday's close, which was, I have it right here, 1957.73 is exactly what it was. So that difference is is $22.10. So the total option was sold for $24.70. So $24.70 less $22.10 is $2.60. That's the extrinsic amount. Extrinsic is also called time premium. It's not really that important to understand the difference between the two of them, but I keep track of them separately, how much intrinsic they capture and how much extrinsic they capture, because sometimes at the end of the month, when it comes to pay the dividend, they like to pay all the extrinsic out. That's what I've heard before. I've only been estimating these for a couple of months, so I don't really know, but the intrinsic and extrinsic all play a part. But a lot of people like to see them separated, so that's why I do the boxes that are the two different colors. These profit boxes just give you a visual representation of where the market needs to close to make money. If the market closes at the top line, and the top line is also the strike price, that's maximum profit. They'll make the maximum profit they can make if it closes on the top line or above. If it closes under the top line, they're going to make somewhat less than the maximum profit. The break even down here is just the top line, 1975, less the total price of the option that we sold it for, which was what, 24 bucks. So 1975 less 24 is right around 1950. So this gives you a visual representation of the target you are shooting for. You want it to close inside the box closer to the top line. So let's look at some other days. So this day right here, the market opened up and went up above the box and then sold off. So that's a loss. If it closes at the bottom line or below, it's a loss. This day right here, the market closed above the top line. So that's a maximum profit. This day right here was a maximum profit. This day right here was a maximum profit. That day was a partial profit. This day was a loss. This day was a loss. This day was a loss. We've been losing a lot the past couple of days. This day was a loss. Today is about a half profit, because if it closes halfway through the box, it's about a half profit. Quarter way is a quarter profit. So it's just a visual representation for visual learners. The reason they aren't parallel is because, I don't know, because I'm drawing them too fast and sometimes they aren't parallel. I should probably take more time and clean them up. I wish they made the box where it wouldn't go unparallel, because you kind of have to eyeball it, but some of these are off pretty far. I don't know, these aren't too bad. But sometimes if I'm drawing it quick, you know, and I do it like that, and then I draw it down here, and then that's for the top color, let's just say, and so I turn that one green, and then I do the bottom one like this, and maybe I do it too fast or something, you know, and then the bottom one's yellow. Well, they're a little bit off center. These, you know, I'm sorry, I try to straighten them up when I see them, but they're supposed to be square, so just imagine that they're square for the sake of imagining, and I will try to do a better job making them square. There's also a case here. Sometimes they sell two options. So over here on this day, I had overlapping boxes because they sold options at two different strike prices. That doesn't happen very often, but most of these are pretty square. Some of them are off a little bit. Like I say, I'll try to be more careful to make sure they're more square. Also, I just estimate how long the day is. I don't know before. I mean, all the days are the same, but there's kind of no way to tell. So I'll go back after the day and make the length match. That's fairly square. This one's a little bit off. Let me see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And now I have this top box a little bit longer than the bottom box. All right. Yeah, that's off center. You get the idea. It's just kind of it's a labor of love, but the box being square or not, it's not that big a deal. It's just supposed to give you a rough estimate of what you're looking for the market to do. All right, guys. Thank you for the question, and thanks for watching. And also to my commenter that asked the question, if that wasn't clear enough, or if you still don't understand something, write me another comment, and I'll explain it better. Appreciate everything. I'll be back tonight we'll be back tonight, and I'll look at where tomorrow's options are. Where I'll draw the profit boxes for tomorrow. I haven't done that yet, but after when I come on tonight, I'll draw where the new profit box is. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day.